Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Ouderkirk, and I am here doing my career profile for a victim advocate today. For the purpose of this presentation, I decided to do a victim advocate that is working for a district attorney office rather than a third-party company. I thought that that would probably give me a more overview of what it really entails and what it can require. I'm going to kind of do this a little bit different and explain some common job tasks of the victim advocate. First of all, when a crime happens, usually something like a abuse or rape or attempted murder, things like that. It's very traumatic, obviously, and the county will call in people to help the victims work through it. And there's so many different aspects of the victim's life that it affects that they need help oftentimes to get through it. So some common job tasks of a victim advocate are providing legal services and helping them find different community services. And there's also a lot of compensation programs available for victims of crimes, and so a victim advocate would typically help them find those and fill out the paperwork for them so they could get registered with them. They also can be called in to help support prosecutors through the legal process for the person who committed the crime. The victim advocate is charged with getting in contact with the crime victims first and helping them support them through it. That includes things like taking them to the doctor to get a rape kit or different parts that are just plain hard to do and to process after the crime. They also, under the direction of the victim, they can speak in behalf of the victim for family or friends, courts, parole boards, landlords, creditors, and also employers, and explain what's going on and what they're doing to help her or him. An advocate for the victim would also be in charge of making a safety plan, which is kind of like orders of protection, things like that, and helping them fill out the paperwork and getting those processed correctly so that the victim can be safe in the future from the people that committed the crimes. They also need to be able to help transport the victim, if that's necessary, to and from court proceedings and medical treatments and just all of those things. Something I read a lot about people who want to pursue a career in this is that they need to be non-judgmental and open-minded so that they can create a very good relationship with the victim. Victims, because they're traumatized, have a hard time trusting people and having a normal relationship with anybody. So because the victim advocate is there to help the person get back on their feet and change for the better, they need to be able to have a good relationship with them, which means that they need to be genuine and sensitive to the needs of the victim so that she or he can trust her or him. Educational requirements for it vary depending on job location and also pay scale. Basically, there are some that they didn't even require a college degree at all, but that they would give you on-the-job training, and typically those people did not make very much money. A bachelor's is accepted for most county jobs. They prefer bachelor's in psychology, criminal justice, or social work. That's why I chose this one. However, people with master's degrees were paid almost twice as much as those with bachelor's degrees, and the master's is, of course, preferred. Also, there is a organization called the National Organization for Victim Assistance, and although it's not necessary, they offer certification for victim assistance, and to become a victim advocate. When you do that, you get paid more, and also your credentials are raised, and it's easier for you to get a job and maintain a job, and it's good for you to make more money. Speaking of money, it looks like, from what I found, the starting salary range started at only $25,000, and that seemed to be in poorer parts of the country. And then moving into the more affluent parts of the country, usually for somebody with just a bachelor's degree, they topped out about 55,000, but experienced victim advocates could get up to almost 75,000, it looked like. But with compared to somebody that only has a bachelor's in that area, they usually are making twice that amount. Let's see what else. Oh, benefits. I chose to do this one because I wanted to see what all benefits were involved with working for the county as a victim advocate, and it's a government job, so they're great benefits. Obviously, they have a good salary that's pretty competitive. They have a 401k retirement plan. They have medical, dental, mental health, and prescription insurance plans. They have pensions, life insurance, Roth IRAs, and of course paid leave. They also, in some counties, not in my specific county, but in some counties that I looked at job postings for, they offer things called wellness programs where they help you get a membership to the local gym, and diet plans and discounts at other, health tool places. Let me think. I think that's all of those. Stressors. Because of the general nature of this job, I imagine it's very emotionally and physically and mentally and probably even spiritually taxing. Victim advocates are called after a crime has taken place, sometimes only just a few minutes, to help the victims. They have to be ready to listen and provide support from the people that have experienced traumatic events. One obvious stressor of the job is listening to the victim's personal experience and seeing them after it has taken place. Another stressor would be the need to dedicate all the time and the effort they have available to help those victims with every aspect of their lives, like housing and safety, bills, employment situation, food. They have to be able to help. Victim advocates will help fill out national welfare, federal welfare type things, to get on food stamps and things like that. Also, because of, crime doesn't sleep, like they say, the victim advocate is kind of on call for whenever, so they have a very sporadic schedule. Some of them work, a regular 9 to 5, but the ones here in town, it says that you need to be available if they need you at 3 o'clock in the morning. You need to go and help the victim. If there's a crime and somebody needs you on Christmas, then your Christmas is spent with them. So I imagine that's very stressful and can be very trying for that. And for the general environment, I don't know that I'd consider it family friendly. I definitely wouldn't bring my daughter in for Bring Your Child to Work Day. I think it's just too much crime and negativity that surrounds the whole purpose of the job. Overall, although it's not a particularly highly paid career, according to the most online sources that I found, it's very rewarding in other ways. I think most jobs, when you're helping people become better and move on from the past, I think it's obviously very rewarding when you can see them go from a very low point to a more stable and joyful part of their next life. Because people that are in need of the victim advocates usually have dealt with things like abuse and violence and attempted murder and even rape. Sometimes, even because you just got called right after it happened, if you are interested in this career, you would have to make sure that you are prepared to be able to witness gruesome details and see things maybe that are not very pleasant. Anyway, I think that's most of the parts of this career. Again, I think it's a very rewarding career. I think it makes a competitive salary, but the rewards outside of the money are probably very substantial. It sounds stressful and it sounds trying, but I think that they probably bless a lot of people. So I think that it might be something that I consider in the future, maybe when my kids are older. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, I can be reached at OUD12002 at byui.edu. Thank you. Bye-bye.